Hey guys, welcome back to the stream. As you can see here, we have our displacement back. Let's have a look. We've got a pretty bright sun, but we have snow back on the ground. Okay, all good, looking good. And we're opening up our other project at the moment because we are still passing across different settings. Okay, so if we look at what we've got, we want probably BP. You see these here, day-night cycle, right? Infinity displacement, controller, and oceanology, right? Now, we think we've done day-night cycle, right? And we also think we've done weather controller. Now, the weather controller definitely did make a heck of a lot of difference. Right, so I am just going to open up the main map on the other project. We're going to have a look at it. Meanwhile, we're on the day-night cycle here. We're going to close that down for now. Right? We are probably going to do a quick check on this. To find out what we've got. Right, but the snow displacement was a major one. I'll show you here. If I do like 3, you see it brings it up. And yeah. So there's not an awful lot else apart from that. Apart from probably the fog. Right? Where the fog is kind of thick. But I'm not sure if this is the fog for which one the fog relates to, right? Now we can see into the distance there, so that's not so bad. And as I said, we're just waiting on this opening up, and then we'll have a look. If I don't answer you guys in the chat, don't worry about it. It's just I've got another project open, and I can't see the chat at this point. But I will get back to it as soon as possible. Alright. The other map is just loading up, and then we're going to take a look. The things I'm worried about here is this fog density, fog height fallout, and weight. Right. You see that didn't make any difference whatsoever. So I'm kind of like, what's going on? And yeah, well, probably what we'll do as well is we'll reposition some of these, right, and see if that makes a difference. Which it probably will, but we're going to need to do something about it. And we're probably going to have to look at this day-night cycle. because it looks to me that this is definitely there's something definitely going on here, right? Right, our other map is just finishing off here. So let's just let it do its thing, shall we? Right. Okay. So I'm going to type blueprint in the other one, then I'm going to select the day-night cycle. And then the thing we're worried about is the fog. 0.051 300.1. Right, these settings are all absolutely fine. Right. Point 4110 fog night height. That's the day, that's the night. Right, so that's fine. Right. Got this weather, that's fine. .081. Right, those are okay. So I'm going to have to go with weather controller. There's something in the weather controller. Or is there something in the displacement? I don't think there's anything in the displacement for... Let's see if there's anything here. Nope. Nope. So I'm just wondering here, is there a post-process volume? There's a post-process volume in this. Right. Now the question is that going to do anything? Apparently not. It is preparing shaders though, but only one. Right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this one, right, because it's got right, you can see, darn it, it's having a moment to itself. Right, you can see from here that this one is clear, whereas this one is not, and that's what's confusing me. We're now on 5.1. Screen Apple. I spent a couple of days last week working on how we transfer it, and then at the weekend we got all the GitHub stuff done, which took a while, few mistakes, but got there in the end. Right, so it's not the post-process volume, and now I am just basically trying to match what we have in our day-night cycles, etc. Right? Now, we're going to do the displacement, but I don't think there's anything here that's different. I don't think there's any kind of fog. Now, I'm just wondering. Yeah, there's no... Right, okay, what I was going to do with this was get the positions of these and move ours to the right position, supposedly. Right? And there we go. Okay, so I'm not 100% sure where that is. It appears to be out here. Nope, that's the process window. So the question is, where is our day-night cycle? Now the interesting thing now though is, if I press play, we are going to get a day-night cycle. Or at least that's the theory. Right? We've not got any clouds though. That our blowing needs to be moved up a bit. Yeah, I had to export 6,700 meshes and bring them in again. So that was fun. Oh yeah, there's one more thing I've got to do here actually. We're going to wait for it to change to night anyway, to see what our story is. Not a good idea, Screen Apple. In this system, the buoyancy and floating things absolutely murders the CPU. I mean, in theory, we could frig it slightly. Oh, we have, look. Look, we've got clouds. Now this is pretty cool actually, right? Watch when this changes to night. It's something we've thought about and we actually removed it because it was absolutely murdering the processor. Well, it was murdering Unreal Engine. Look, that's pretty cool when it changes. To dusk. Right, and we should get a moon soon. A moon soon. Oh yeah, it rhymes and everything. Yeah, it does real-time weather change already. That's what it's doing. Well, you're not running at normal time, that's the thing, right? These are a couple of things that we need to do. Calculations, right? Because the time of day runs, everything runs on a cycle of a certain amount of time that takes up a certain amount of time, right? But you can see that our stuff is back. We've still to do the foliage again, right? But we should have a moon soon. We could go you know what? I've never actually. The funny thing is, I've never actually checked out this map because before there was all trees everywhere, so you couldn't really see where the paths were. Well, you could, but you couldn't see like there's a path up here, right? Now we know that the displacement isn't working again, but we're looking at that, and that's to do with Unreal Engine 5. Right, but if we go up, we should have a moon somewhere. Where's the moon? Where's the moon? I want to see the moon. I thought this path would actually lead all the way up, but it obviously doesn't. In a way, yes, it will have frostbite. Right, see the temperature gauge on the left hand side that's red? That's going to be like your core temperature. So if that gets too low, you are going to start freezing to death. Right, so is that where I just came down from? I think it was. Anything to see the moon. Let me see the moon. I saw it the other day. I saw the moon the other day and it was cool. Where is it? Oh well. Well, it's kind of hard to use a bow and arrow with gloves on. But we're just gradually moving stuff over, but as you see, things are looking pretty good, I'd say. What do you guys think? Do you think you see an improvement in the graphics, or the same, or what do you think? Remember, there'll be a couple of quirks like this stuff here with things missing underneath and stuff, right? Like, this is the inside of a house, but the blueprint is missing, right? Right, it's a blueprint of a house. You can see here now that it is streaming very nicely. Right, there's no pop in, there's no slowdown, there's nothing happening that's making it crappy. Right. I'm gutted that I can't see the bloody moon. Oh well, never mind, eh? Right, now, one of the things we're going to have a look at, right, strangely there's a static mesh of a fire there. It's dark, yeah, it's because it's night time. We're not sure on the clothing thing. I can do it, like, so that you can have stuff, and then, like, you know, have slots to use it. And it kind of reminds me that, apart from the fact that I don't know how to go anywhere in the game, right? Now, I believe you've been here since day 100. Right, now, there should... it's a blueprint, isn't it? There's a moon! There's a moon! Oh, I'm all excited about seeing the moon. Check it out. Got the moon. Moon is moving. Moon's doing its thing. Yes, moon. And look at the... Hi, Sunbuster Studio. Oh, you're Sunbuster Studio now. Oh. I was just looking at it in the water, you know, you get the reflection. And Sunbuster's suddenly turned into Sunbuster Studio. Right, so we are now fully in Unreal Engine. No, quite abandoned types all the time. Sunbuster does as well, but normally he's Sunbuster rather than the Sunbuster Studio. And Cat Eats Chips always says hello. And it was you that said that, Cat Eats Chips, so. Yeah, Sunbusters went all posh. You know what he's done? He's started his first game. He's loaded up Unreal Engine and just started his first game, and he's now suddenly a studio. Which I can get right behind. Right? Nothing wrong with that. Right, now, there is somewhere, right, and I don't know if it's screwed up, right, and I've only ever showed this once, right, because I can't find it because I'm a bloody idiot, right, and I didn't draw the map, so I'm as clueless as you guys on what the map actually looks like, right, but I do know that there's caves up here somewhere, but probably we can't get in because originally it was like done as a trigger, and we've not brought in the trigger yet. Ah, right, Sunbuster. So it's not Sunbuster Studio, it's Sunbuster Audio Studios. Is that what you're telling us? Ah, you see, read you like a book. Read you like a book. Well, we take a look over at the mountain. What do we call it? We can take a look at. Look at that, it's pretty cool actually. Right, what we can do is we can take a look at our. We're not doing very much work, are we? Right, but as I've always told you, this isn't really for. Well, it is for work. Right. I'm not too happy about the fact that there's no clouds in the sky though. Right, but we can probably change that. Right, but what I want to do is I want to bugger off over here somewhere. Right, I'll probably end up lost again, so don't mind me. Right, the only thing we've got to do is, you'll notice that the displacement isn't working quite right. But we know about that. Right, now we might actually have to give up on a displacement for Unreal Engine 5, but I think we actually gain quite a lot. The last two streams, well, that was Thursday and Friday. Yes, there's weather change, yeah, because remember it was snowing a minute ago. It isn't snowing anymore. Right, it is like dynamic. Right, now there is a mountain. Right, I don't even know how to get there, but I'm following this path. Now, I did give my colleague a row because I think there's too much, it's too bloody obvious which way you need to go, right? Let's go and take a look at the sea. This is the first time I've ever actually looked and went, let's go and have a look at the scenery, right? Because it's actually pretty bloody nice. Look at that, guys. Oh, the simple things. The simple things. Yeah, so it will go from like clear skies, which is what we've got right now, to basically whiteout. Now, we're going to go and have a look. Oh, God. Oh! Look at that, the sun. don't think we're even using lumen, by the way. But look at that. That's cool. Wow. There's the sun going down. Yeah, there is a sun. Right, but we're on the dark side of the planet. Right? Now, this is obviously into our... Right, this is going to be quite cool, actually. Well, if we can get the right... I don't think we... we'll see, right? Well, I've not even switched on nanite or lumen yet. Right, this is just basically no settings, loading in the meshes, getting everything going in the right place. Right, wait till you see it. I'm telling you, this is going to look absolutely fantastic when I start adding in the particle fire systems, right? Because you'll have seen those, right? And those look really good at night. So you can imagine it's going to look fabulous. Yeah, it is how it sounds. It's lumen, I think. But I'm not going to argue with you about it. Right, so this is like the hillside village that goes right into the village. Right? And it goes right up into the mountain. Right, I don't know why I should be showing you this. Yeah, I mentioned the sunset thing the other day to my colleague. Yeah, I had 1,000 today, but you sometimes drop one or two, so we're back down from 1,000 back down to 999. Right, so we can't go up here because this is a blueprint of a bridge. Right, but you see that goes right up into the mountains. If you've seen the trailer, you'll know that, right? Because you'll have seen it in the trailer. Yeah, this kind of is spoilers. It kind of is. Now, it actually should be probably darker than this. Right? Because basically, moonlight shouldn't be given... Right, we've got a lot. There's basically, this is the very most okay, so quit. Go and get yourself something to eat if you need it. Oh. Right, so this is going to have stuff going on. Ah, Fury. Have you just subscribed and made it 1K? Yeah, there's no people because the people are blueprints, right? And we've not brought over the blueprints yet, right? So we basically need to bring over the blueprints for that, which ain't going to take very long. Yeah, they will go to bed. Our NPCs go to work and go to bed and stuff. Right, but you can see, if you remember rightly, the moon didn't come up until about the right time. Can we beat up people? No, you can't. That's kind of not the point. Yeah, we're probably going to bounce around. Fury, by the way, if it was you that were the 1000th, then thank you. Does making the character walk hard? My PC specs. This is running on an 7-year-old PC, which was good at the time, but it's nothing compared to what you can get now. So you can imagine what this is going to look like when you run it on an actual modern, up-to-date monster machine, right? This is going to, I mean, it's running in the editor, which is crap. It's running at about 50 frames a second, right? Which means it'll probably be about double that. No, we've got a plan for that. That basically, if you try to shoot anybody in a town, then they'll basically shut the gates and not let you in, which means that you're going to have to stay outside and freeze, right? Because that doesn't make any sense. I want the sun to be right here so that we can take a screenshot or something, right? And what I'll do is I'll drag this into the right ratio. Yeah, the monsters are coming, don't worry. Everything's cool. It's just we've not moved everything over yet, right? Well, you see, this is what I was talking about, right? What I wanted to do and see what you guys think, right? Once we see the bloody moon come up, is in this map, I've got my test map, right? Remember where all the things I check all the mechanics? Well, I was going to bring them into this map and have like an area on this map as an example, and then just have it as like a hub where you can move into an area with monsters, you can move into an area with crafting stuff, you can move into an area with... Yeah, it's open world. It'll take you about 40 minutes to run from one end to the other in a straight line, and that's with 0 stoppages, right? So that's not stopping to look anywhere, that's not trying to get past obstacles. That's just basically a test of how long it takes you, right? Yeah, we'll be doing all that stuff. All of that stuff will be getting done, so don't worry about it, right? My colleague will be working probably on all of these little details to set up the weather system, the sky, all of that good stuff. Because that's the stuff I don't work on. I've just basically, you know, tapped myself out getting it to look like this, right? Just setting up kind of defaults. So you can see we're getting light snow now and it's not a blizzard, a bit of thunder and lightning. It's fine, you understand, you know, it's... The thing that bothers me is, right, there's thunder and lightning. You never see thunder and lightning with snow, right? Or at least not anywhere I've ever lived. Snow does not come about with thunder and lightning. Rain, yes, But snow, no. It does look, it does give a cool effect though, I must say that. I'll give it that. Right, where's our bloody moon? Oh, there it is. There's our moon, look. Right, we're looking at a post. I wonder if that's the actual moon. If that uses a... Yeah, there should be southern Aurora Borealis as well. It does have that. That's going to be there. It's there, guys, don't worry. We're going to have... There will be northern lights. Don't panic. Now, can I shoot the moon? Obviously not. It's probably just a bit too far. That arrow will never be found. I can tell you that. Right, we're waiting on that moon coming over so we get a bit of reflection on the sea. So it's going to look super cool. Then I can take a screenshot. Oh, you can check in the left hand side under the health, the food, that we've turned red once it gets to 3/4, so that's working absolutely perfectly. Right, our clock is spinning. We should we might need a day counter. You see, I think the moon is too high to reflect on the sea. But I'm going to say, you can see it a bit. You can see it a bit. Right, but we've got a nice yeah guys, I would say that's looking pretty darn good. And as I said, I haven't even done the nanite tools yet, or the lumen stuff, because from what I've heard, these two, well, I'm not too sure which one it is, but I think it's lumen that isn't kind of plug and play. It's not, you've got to be careful what you do with it. What I want is the sun, or sorry, the moon over here, right? So we'll have to wait on it coming over here. Now, one thing here that I want to do that we're talking about is, I'll show you in a second. Well, we can wait. Well, you see these blocks down here that are covering, right? Well, what's set up is a set of, like, that makes it look like the sea has iced up, right? And what I'm going to do is, you've got a system in Unreal Engine 5 called data layers, where you can stream stuff in and out depending on, like, whatever logic you want to you do, right? That you can either stream it or not, right? So it'll be interesting, and it's going to be easier to get that to work, right? So Oh, you know what? I just thought when I seen I just thought, you know what movie is that? Dracula? You know? I just thought on top of that, Transylvania, big castle, Dracula game. Would look absolutely cool like this. Is the moon going down? Where'd the moon go? Right, I can't really walk very far here. There it is. The moon has appeared again. Right, we better get a reflection on this or I'm going to be really upset. We better get a reflection right across that water. That's what I've been waiting for here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Start FPS. Let's not ruin it. Right, here's the question, Cybershell. Okay? When it's minus 50 outside, what's going to happen when you dive in? Oh, come on, give me a reflection. Come on. Oh, it's not going to do it, is it? Right, anyway, it's too high up. You can see it a tiny bit. Right, we've got Snippy Tool. So we're going to use Snippy Tool. There we go. Snippy Tool. Snippy Tool. Yeah, death. So we really want to discourage that, right? See, the problem is, right, I get your point, right? Which is all well and good. Now, actually, funnily enough, I was moving really slow there. You know why? Because my health and everything is down to nothing. You see that? So it keeps trying to slow me down, basically. Right, but anyway, there's no point in us trying to do every single mechanic that every single... You know, we've thought about swimming, we've thought about all of these things, right? And as I said, it's not a slight on your thoughts, right? No, you see the reflection when it's actually coming up out the sea. You know, it's breaking the horizon. It's really strong. But the higher it goes, you get less of an effect. Which is understandable, right? Because it's a different kind of an angle. Right? But what we can do is we can go to Tools and we can go to Nanite. That's the wrong bloody thing. What did I press? Right, what did I press? Because I probably don't want that button. Close that. Go away. Go away, Project Launcher. We don't want Project Launcher. Right, what we want is Nanite Tools. Right? It's not that it's going to be a total mess, right? Because a lot of games can do it. The problem is those people have got a million people working for them, right? So we haven't even got Nanite. So basically, enable nanite. And I probably shouldn't have done that. But I can go for a cigarette while we're waiting on this, right? It's not got that many to do. It only does the ones on the map, right? So you need to keep basically up doing this. It appears. I don't know if you can enable nanite for every single mesh in a content folder as such, or if it's doing it in a content folder. And it appears to be, but I don't know how many it should be doing. Yeah, you never hear me smoking, right? Because I go outside. Ah, my PC ain't going to explode, don't worry. Right, so I'm going to let this do its thing, right? And grab a ciggy. So if you're enjoying the stream and you haven't already, hit like and subscribe. Check the description for loads of links, right? I get fed up saying it. Hit the little bell button, do what you want, really. I don't care. Well, I care, but it's up to you. And I shall be back in a minute. And hopefully we'll be on 1001. Right? Because if we get to 1001, then I'm not probably never going to go back to under 1000. At the moment, we're in severe danger of going back to 1000 or less than. But anyway, back in a second. Okay guys, I believe that might be done. Well, have fun, quit, abandoned. New AI plugin makes a game for you. Don't think so. Right, I think that's us done. Right, so this should be loading in the highest level of asset that it's got. Because that's basically what it does. Right. Now I'm not going to do anything with Lumen until I've watched some videos on it and I get a general idea of what we need to do. Right, but you can see there was a ghost. Alright. Future past, future present. Right, let's have a look at where we are. Everything's looking nice. Yeah, that's usually called a widget that I've wrote, I'm afraid. Right. So we can go out and have a look at, well, I'm going to show you this and then I'll bring in a couple of things, right? We'll bring in a monster. You'll notice that we're getting absolutely no streaming problems here, which is what we were getting before. Right? And if we run down to the docks now, nah, it was just before I left. Right. Right, let's try a couple of things, eh? Let's not just sit here and do this, let's try some things and see what we can get working or not. Right? So, first thing we can do is, what I was saying to you is, right, see these blocks here? Under the water? These are the ones that I was talking about, that basically become visible later on. Right? And basically look like the water has all iced up. Right, now we could do some kind of an iceberg but not put any buoyancy on it. Right, but just have it sitting out at sea type thing. We could also bring in a monster, and what I was talking was that if we have like, well, we can basically bring in a monster easy enough, right? Once we get that out of the way, we can go monsters, right? Then I believe it's this one. Then all we need to do is drag it in. Right. Drag it up, drag it down. Capsule's a bit big. It's a bit of a freak, but anyway. Press play on that. Ooh, it's doing freaky stuff now. Oh. Right. We have got caves. I was trying to show you that earlier, right? But I don't know exactly where it is. But there are caves, right? And it's not that far from the start, right? But you'll notice our guy will actually be standing there doing nothing, right? Because I'm pretty sure we don't have an av mesh. But we can shoot him. If my mouse will stop misbehaving. Right, it's got a shit crap ton of meshes to do. So that's going to not work at 100% brilliant. Right, we can get it in the slideshow version. And we probably need to do something with the particles. Right, let's try and find the caves, right? Now it's going to be easy to find the caves because the caves are over here somewhere, right? And if we just go inside the terrain, right, there's the caves there, right? So what we can do is go in here. Right, so if we right click, we can play from here. Now this is going to be an interesting one, right, because my friend reckons that these plants are emissive, right, and if they really are emissive, then these plants should give off light. Right, so the next thing we're going to check is if they actually are. And if they actually are, how much light they actually give off. Okay? So it looks like we're going to have to wait on this a second. What's keeping it going? Oh, as I keep saying, right? Yes, there's a lot of stuff to do. But the thing is, if I commit to doing 2 streams a day, then I'm going to be working it. It's because it's doing shaders, by the way. So it might actually be a little bit sticky. Right, now we are looking at ourselves here. Right, so it looks like we have got emissive. I'm not 100% sure where we are. right? We can see where we are there. We're kind of stuck. They are giving off a tiny, they're not giving enough light off. Right, so they're not lighting up the area. Okay, I can live with that. Now, we put ourselves inside a rock apart. Oh, didn't want to do that. Right. So, we need to look at this. Right. And we probably need to pump up the emissive on this. It is still doing a lot of shaders and stuff, by the way, and this is just going to be another one. We're going to have a lot of things like this to begin with, right, where we're getting it ready for basically transferring stuff on Unreal 5 that we didn't know we were going to end up having to do. Right, but it appears that we are going to actually have to do it. But hey ho, if you guys think it's looking better, then that's the... We're looking for two things from Unreal Engine 5. Number one, make it look a bit better. And number two, make the level streaming easier. And I think it's basically doing those two things, so I can't be anything really but happy. I think we're gonna have to have some sort of torch mechanic. I think it makes sense. So yeah, I think torches will be coming to the game. I believe that is going to be a thing. Right. Right, so we've got that. Normals, roughness, doobie-doo, general. We might want this emissive boost, not sure. What is this? Right, forget that. So, yep. Now the question is that giving off light, or is just that brightening up that material? In theory it should be giving off light, but I might need to check it. Right, so I might actually need to have a look at the original. Now if this doesn't work, I can import the torches. Well, sorry, the point lights. Now you can see that is definitely giving off more light, right? But it's still not enough. Now I'm just waiting. The problem here is that we're going to have to wait and see. We're probably going to have to wait in the shaders until this actually shows up, right? But we'll keep that open for now. Right, but this should be affecting every single one of these. Now you can see you can definitely see these, right? But I don't know if they're going to have an effect. Right, meanwhile, we can go to blueprints and these are the ice, right? So you can actually put these apparently I can't put these. I'm guessing that's going to pop up, but it's just because it's doing all of these meshy things and shadery things that it's not up yet. I'm afraid these are the things we're going to have to learn about, what to do and what not to do. It looks to me like this infinity ocean needs to go down a shade. Right, because we can tell from the water here right, it appears I'm going the wrong way. Appears I'm not going the wrong way. Right, if I say minus 9,000, I'm in the wrong place. This rock here is in the wrong sodden place now. I don't think it actually matters. It is minus 8, 3, 4, 7 or something like that. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, so what we were doing was it was the ocean, Infinity Ocean, right? That we were concerned about. Right? So we need to select that. Minus 9,200. Minus 9,300. Right, so that seems about right because it's not coming over this part here. Now, if we select some of these, right? Visible, false. Visible, true. Right? So basically, now I'm guessing right? So, well, the first thing I'm going to do is you can see that this isn't actually very well done, or at least not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and move to a new folder. I'm going to create a new folder and I'm going to call it dock ice over. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the static meshes in here, right? So I'm going to move these ones as well. So like all of these ones. And we're going to move them to there, right? Now the interesting thing is, we don't want that there, right? We just want this one. Right, and then what we can do is grab all them and basically visible false, right? Then we can grab the other ones. And all of those ones we can move into dock isola, right? And then basically we can go to here, select all these, and then make these invisible, right? And we can just why am I ET? I don't understand. I'm just doing normal Unreal Engine-y things. I'm not doing anything. Right, so click on that. Alright, I'm not too sure about that one. Right, but I'm going to go for that. I'm going to go for that. I'm going to go for that. And that. And that. And that. Right, and I'm going to move them. How come they're not going in a icy foldery thing? Okay. Can you be like that, are we? Right, let's do one. Yeah, that's going to go to the icy folder. Right, that's going to go to the icy folder. Right. Now we can go to the top again. Select there. Select them all. And select invisible. Right. Then what we'll do is, once we've got all of these actors, we can basically turn them, we can add a data layer. Right. And stream them in and out as we want, basically. It doesn't need to attach to anything. These, as I said, these are just to represent the sea freezing up, right? They don't have any actual function in the game other than some these all will overlap each other, right? It's going to end up being like you know, a frozen up thing. Right, that's kind of what we're doing here, right? But we want these, we want to be able to select all of these, right? Now there might be some in the other port, but we can split them up as well, right? Because that's going to be basically another data layer, right? So you can see me gradually taking them all away. I've just got to find out which ones it is, right? Because when you first start the game, there's nothing blocking the dock and the ships will sail in, right? That's kind of the point. So I am basically just getting these all into a folder. Right. I'm just wondering, right? I wonder. All descendants. And then off. Right? So we're beginning to look like a dock that isn't filled with ice, right? Now this is the iceberg that I added, I think. And for some reason I can't select it. Right. This is it here apparently. That's interesting. So I'm guessing yeah. Right, these I think do really weird things. Like they get set to the bottom or something. Yeah, that was already here, I think. Right, I think that's part of the landscape. Yeah, it is. That's part of the landscape. So, no idea what's going on with that. Right. Right, no idea what's going on with that. Right, what's going on here? Okay. Let's press play. Now we know it's just to the right. But there's also a fairly large probability that this is going to crash or something, or it's going to be on a big wait because we're still doing shaders. Am I running RTX? No. Is that the second time you've done that? Cat eats chips. You subscribed before, because I'm sure you did. Yeah, you did. Because I remember those weird videos. Just 20% more. I think that's optimistic. 20% more could be 20% in 3 days. Right. I wouldn't go with that. I'm just wondering what mesh this is using and why it's not showing up. I mean, we should be able to see it out there. It should be just to the right of that rock over there. The one kinda in the middle. Right. See the one in the middle there? Right, but it's not there. Now, you'll notice it's here. And if I double click on it, it looks right. It looks to me like it's actually floating to the bottom. Right. Right, I think that's floating to the bottom, basically. Now we can probably switch buoyancy off so that it works a bit better. Well, I don't know if you can actually switch the buoyancy off, but we can have a look. In the meantime, let's finish off our little icy thing. Right, so right click on that, move to dock ice over, and have we got any more here? See, I think these are supposed to be in as well, so we'll select them and that. And probably that one there. And I'm getting the feeling that that might be one as well. Right, so we have selected that one. We've selected that one over there. Right. There can be a lot of answers to that question, quite abandoned, but if you're that worried about it, I would go to a doctor. That would be the sensible thing to do. Right, so we're going to select that. Select immediate children. Okay, that wasn't what we wanted. So it is all descendants. What the heck? Alright, Okay, whatever. Visible off. Right, now you're getting an idea of what it actually should look like. Right, so basically we've got this one, this one, and this one, this one, this one, and this, no, not that one. Right. Where's the move to? Where'd the bloody move to go? Right, and there was this big one. Move to dock ice over. All descendants. Switch you off. Right, so it looks like this is going to take quite a bit of work, to be honest, to get all of this basically done, right, because there's quite a lot of manual flapping about here, so we're just going to have to deal with it, I suppose. Right. I don't know which of them requires how many more of them we need, but anyway. Right, so we'll move these into dock ice over. All descendants and invisible. Right, so that's looking more like the docks that we started with. Except for one thing. Interesting. Is that like a post-processing thing? That seems to be a streaming thing. Wow. Right, well, it's one of those things that we're going to have to find out about. I've got no idea, Sunburst. You could do them either way, really. Because what you could do is you can set up data layers within data layers, right? So you could have 3 layers and basically layer them, like show the first set show the second set, show the third set. So you could do it however you want, but I'm just wondering what is going on with this. Why these are only showing like here. Ah, right enough, okay. It could be something to do with it could be something to do with the shaders again. It could be something to do with the level streaming. It could be something to do with the way I've dropped in nanite. The water doesn't extend as far as you think, right? The water's in two sections. It's basically, I think in this case it just fills the level. Editor materials cam. I guess we just forget that one then. Worry about that one later. Right, you see how it's still doing a lot of shader stuff. Which is quite weird, to be honest. Okay, quite abandoned. Catch you later. I'll probably see you again tomorrow, I suppose. Right. Well guys, I'm going to leave it there. Even if it finishes off in the next 5 minutes. It's time to walk the dog, grab a bite to eat. So if you've enjoyed the stream and haven't already, hit the like and subscribe. Check out the description for links to various stuff, including Discord, Patreon stuff, my previous game on Steam, Kickstarter preview and all that stuff. And I shall see you tomorrow at 2 PM Central. So thank you guys once again for joining. Thank you guys for chatting, and I shall catch you tomorrow, where we shall carry on with Unreal Engine 5. Bye bye for now.